I am Alex.
I am Martin.
We are Erasmus students at Bauhaus-Universität Weimar, and as our topic of research for the course Media Architecture Biennale, we've chosen Aesthetics and Poetics of Responsive Urban Spaces.
Let us teach you something about them, and still, as it is a topic of future, open some of the questions that this topic offers. During centuries of urban planning, more and more attention has been paid to public space. Mostly, it was or it is just a place where people meet, but enlightened designers of public space developed it to be a bit more than just a place. From Michelangelo's design of the Piazza del Campidoglio in Rome to Sopakelen, famous public space in Copenhagen that involves people. As we see in every human activity, the progress is intensifying over time. Then, what can be the future of designing public spaces? Your usual street or marketplace is, in relation to communication, just a static channel. Rare and more recent public spaces are designed to support exchange of information between people, and we call them dynamic spaces. The next step would be a place that contributes to interactions between people by being an actor of communication itself. These are the responsive urban spaces. Responsive urban spaces use interactive technologies in real time to adapt to users and situations and create engaging and remarkable environment.
What makes a space responsive? Responsiveness can link human values into activities and places so as to create meaningful social space for the built environment. In order for architecture media to become better accepted in society, its contextual parameters should be considered prior. While the official approval for architectural or urban interventions always involves some sort of site analysis, the same should be done in the case of media architecture. That brings the potential to have a similar, if not a greater, impact on the built environment.
And we've even got a few responsive spaces today. One of the examples of successful interactive art intervention is the Crown Fountain, designed by Jean Plenza in Millennium Park, Chicago, which has created a new symbol for the citizen's identity and attracts thousands of people every day. Another well-known project are buddy movies by Raffaello Lozano Hema that invite people passing by to contribute to the work of art. Thereby, passive observers become co-creators of space. Ways how we behave in the public space can be divided into three. Rational action, the most casual way, social action, based on relation between people, and democratic action, when we gather trying to influence public affairs. Ideal classical meaning of public space in democracy is place where citizens debate and manifestate their views. Recently, however, this action is slowly moving to the parallel public space that classical society didn't have, the cyberspace. Not necessarily a bad thing, right? But escape to cyberspace itself is not as positive. Some people move physically around public space but socially stay in their bubbles, communicating with people online rather than those in their vicinity. This trend might rise in the future, supported by social distancing principle during the ongoing COVID-19 epidemic. People in bubbles are an example of a target group.
Target groups. The target groups play a crucial role in the design process. Which target groups is the responsive design aimed at? A design can be adapted to diverse users or to a very specific group. Firstly, a responsive design can attempt to accommodate as many different target groups as possible. In that case, it needs to serve a more general goal, such as enhancing a distinctive atmosphere. A second option is focused on individuals from different target groups. Interactive interventions are then intended to generate new clusters between the groups of visitors by personalizing and creating intimacy. The third option is to focus on a specific group that is relatively easy to activate. This is particularly relevant for responsive installations that call for active use. Social context. Our physical environment, in its ability to shape and represent the local standards and rules of a social interaction, plays a crucial role in the construction and reflection of a social behavior. The most obvious value of media architecture is its ability to boost social cohesion by acting as a conversation starter. It It also managed to increase identity recognition and the feeling of community through the creation and sharing of content. All this results in the reinforcement of people's social identity and civic pride. Contemporary city spaces are frequently lacking in stimulation or inspiring landscape for human encounters. In this context, media interactive installation may have the power to increase the intensity of public life. Supporting city spaces with ambience can create a meaningful co-presence of people and condition for creative cooperation. Media can be an integrated part of architecture instead of dominating the exterior. Through media, we can break the boundary between inside and outside, enhancing the building and extending its communicative abilities. In conclusion, how can we construct alternative forms of public interaction in our cities? How can contemporary mixed architecture, built out of competition, digital media and steel, can contribute to that? We can try by compiling the two-dimensional nature of digital media into real life, by observing how the virtual can influence urbanity for the better.